One idea, 11 pieces of content, one instruction, no writing. Let me show you. And before we get into it, I'm giving away the exact workflow I use myself. You can download them for free, drop them into your own workspace, and have this running in your business today. Link is in the description. Multiply my content. That was a real workflow I used for Mango, my checkout tool for solo digital creators. One trigger, a few bullet points, 11 pieces of finished content. Now you might think, can't I just do this in ChatGPT or Gemini or Claude? You can, but with a chatbot, you are still the project manager. 11 formats means 11 conversations, 11 copy-paste jobs. What I just showed you runs all 11 at once and drops everything into one document. You are not managing anything, it just runs. The first tool we need to use is Visual Studio Code, and I know this sounds technical, but don't worry, here's how I want you to think about it. Visual Studio Code, or VS Code for short, is just a workspace on your computer, like a smart folder. You keep your files in there, you trigger your workflows from there, and when the AI finishes a job, it drops the output right back in there. That's it. You're not writing a single line of code, you are not doing anything technical, it's just your home base, and it's totally free. And to install it on your computer, just go to Google and type in Visual Studio Code and then click the first result. And then just click this button. I'm currently on the Mac, so it will say download for Mac OS. If you're on the Windows, it will say download for Windows. Just click this and install it on your computer. The second tool you need to install is called Claude Code. And you open your VS Code that you just installed. And then you go over here, click this and type in Claude Code. And something like this will show up. And you just need to click install. It's currently already installed on my VS Code, so it says uninstalled, but for your case, it will say install. Just click this, and then something like this will show up. And you want to click this Claude.ai subscription to link this to your account. And in order to use Claude Code, you need a paid account. A pro account will suffice. So you click this, and it'll open in a browser, and it'll ask you for authorization. You just need to click authorize. And then we go back here. So let me give you a quick rundown of what Claude Code is. Claude Code is like Claude, but with a completely different gear. Instead of sitting in a browser tab waiting for you to ask it questions, it runs directly inside the VS Code and actually does things for you. So the difference is huge. In Claude.ai, you type something, it responds, and then you copy the text out, right? You manage what happens next. It's a conversation. Claude Code is not a conversation. So you give it a task, it figures out the next steps, it executes them and saves the finished result as actual files on your computer. So it's doing the job for you. Now that we have all the tools required to run our workflow, let's open your VS Code again. So we click File, Open Folder, and then open this folder. I'm going to give you this for free. You can check the link in the description. You just click Open the folder, and then you will see some files and folders on your left-hand side. Now, this is the same as Finder if you're on a Mac. If you are on a Windows, it will be the File Explorer. As you can see, it's just folders and files. So Demo Content Multiplier 2, this is Demo Content Multiplier 2. And then we have a Claude.md file. This one also here has a Claude.md file. And then we have a Skills folder. If we open this, there's a Content Multiplier folder. If we open this, there's a Content Multiplier folder. And then if we click this, there's a Skill.md file inside the Content Multiplier folder. The same thing, inside the Content Multiplier folder, there's a Skill.md file. All right, now we go here. Let's just click this. On the right side, it will show the contents of that file. And this is Claude.md, and MD file is basically, it stands for Markdown. It's basically just a text file with some formatting, as you can see here. But basically, it's just a text file. And to make it even easier for you to read, you can click the magnifying glass over here, and it will show a more human readable version. So let's just close the MD file for now. You can think of this file as the master instruction file for your whole workspace. It tells the AI how everything is organized, what folders to look in, what workflows are available. And the moment you open this folder, the AI reads this file and it just knows what to do. And then let's go to the skill.md file for the content multiplier. Again, click this magnifying glass to show a more human readable format for us to read. You can see that this is again just a set of instructions. This is no different than taking this set of instructions and giving this to your human teammate. So it's telling the AI how to do this content multiplier skill or content multiplier workflow. So the objective is to take one idea and multiply it into platform specific content. The inputs that the AI need is raw content from the user, the AI has to know your writing voice, style and tone so that it can write in your voice. And then also the content that you want to be multiplied on the different platforms. In this case, there are 11: blog posts, email newsletter, YouTube community posts, Instagram carousel, etc. And then the output is going to be put inside an outputs folder. So currently we don't have one, but the AI is going to create one for us, which you'll see in just a second. And then the platform nodes or instructions, carousel guidelines, thread guidelines, some warnings to make sure that the AI doesn't miss this instruction, hook rules, and then some more LPs over here. And this is the key thing that I want you to notice. You don't have to explain any of this every time you run it. You don't have to say, write me a blog post in my tone and also an email and also a LinkedIn post. You don't have to do any of that because all of that is already baked into this file. That's why one short trigger is all it takes. And once you understand how this file works, which honestly isn't complicated, it's just plain English instructions. You can write your own skill files for any other workflow you want to automate. So for example, currently in the skills folder, we only have the content multiplier skill, right? In the future, you could build another skill, for example, writing an email sequence, or maybe doing SEO research. Now that you have all the tools required to run the AI workflow, so let's just dive straight in. We click this Claude icon on the top right, and let's close this empty document. And from here, we only need to tell it something like multiply my content or something similar. So I'm gonna say multiply my content. We can click thinking tab to see what the AI is thinking to itself, how it's running the process, like processing the information. It's reading a skill.md document, reading voice reference.md. There's no voice reference.md, but it's actually about to create in just a few seconds. Once we provided it with the writing sample, and it's asking us for writing sample and also the content idea to multiply. So I'm going to paste the PDF for my writing sample, drag and drop, and then the content ideas multiply, raw material, notes, bullets, etc. Attached is the writing sample for the content/idea that I want to be multiplied. It's about Cart Mango. We just released a new feature. It's about order bumps. So sellers can just activate this feature, and on their checkout page, there will be an option for customers to just tick a checkbox, and the extra order or extra product will be added to their order, thereby making the sellers more money, increasing their average order value. Okay, it says, got it. Let me save your writing sample, build your voice reference, and we'll pick platforms. Again, it's going to be creating voice reference.md and writing sample.md very soon inside the content multiplier folder. There you go, writing sample.md. This is basically the same content as the PDF that I gave you just now. This is my writing sample. It converted to MD because it's easier for the AI to update if it needs to in the future, and it's also easier for the AI to read. And then it's also creating a voice reference.md based on my writing sample. It analyzes my writing sample. So let's quickly go through this. It says a tone, casual, direct, confident, talks like a builder, sharing what he made, no hype, no fluff, etc. And then the sentence structure, the vocab patterns, quirks, structure pattern, what to avoid. Okay, so let's close this. It's asking me which ones I want to multiply the content on which platforms. So I can just type in a number, for example, 1, or maybe 1 to 3, and then 6 to 8. I can do that. But I'm going to, for this demo purposes, I'm going to just say all. Somewhere in the rules, I said that if 4 or more platforms are chosen, then we should use sub-agents in parallel to make the output faster. All 11 platforms splitting across 3 sub-agents in parallel. Okay, it's deploying a sub-agent number 1, which is to generate to group 1 content. We click this, we can see platforms to generate Instagram carousel, LinkedIn post, LinkedIn carousel, and then sub-agent number 2, as well as sub-agent number 3. I'm not going to open each one of this, but you get the idea. Okay, all content have been generated. Now running the reviewer sub-agent to enforce all rules to make sure that the agent, each agent, followed the rules as instructed in the skill.md document. Because AI are probabilistic, so each agent might miss some of the rules. So I have it set up that a reviewer agent must review the content generated from each agent to make sure that the output is of high quality. Okay, as you can see, it's scanning all content for rule violations, quick check for and violations because I like to replace and with the character ampersand. Now it's checking the block word count, thread merging, and email voice. Okay, it's even checking that extract post 2 has blank lines false. So it's a single paragraph, it needs blank line spacing. It's also explicitly stated in the rules that dense paragraphs shouldn't happen. You should be using blank lines to make it easy for the eyes. Okay, it says that the review is complete, writing the final output file. Okay, it's creating the output directory over here, or output folder. So if you click this, there's an empty document, which is the final document. It says, which is the same thing as here. So done all 11 platforms, we click this, and we click the magnifying glass. Blog post, you're leaving money on the table with every checkout, not because your product is wrong, not because your price is off, because you're only selling one thing at a time. Think about it, blah, blah, blah. Subject line for the email newsletter, you're leaving money on the table with every checkout. It's using this because in the skills document, voice reference and the writing sample, I actually use this, so it's using that. YouTube community post, you're only selling one product per checkout. The money you're missing, money is also how I write money. Instagram carousel, LinkedIn post, LinkedIn carousel, it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Threads post, threads thread. Facebook post, X post, X thread. All right, looks good. So that's how you can use an AI agentic workflow like this to very quickly, one shot, give it a very short prompt like multiply my content, and it knows exactly what to do without back and forth chatting with the chatbot and then copy pasting your output. Now that you understand how an agentic workflow works, the next step is I want to show you how to actually create the prompts, the files and the folders like this one here. So you don't actually need to manually type or create all these files and folders. You just need to talk to the AI for this and it will generate the files and folders for you. So let me just show you here. Let me open a new folder and I've created a demo blank folder over here. Nothing is inside. If we click open, as you can see here on the left hand side, there's no folders or files. All right, we just tell the AI what we want to build. So I'm going to use the speech to text software again for this. I want to build an agentic workflow that takes one idea of mine and then turns it into 11 pieces of content. The 11 pieces of content should be in my writing voice, style, and tone. During the first round, you should ask me for writing samples so that you can store and analyze my writing voice. And then you should also ask me the idea that I want to be multiplied across the 11 platforms. The 11 platforms are blog post, email newsletter, YouTube community post, Instagram carousel, LinkedIn post, LinkedIn carousel, threads post, threads thread, Facebook post, X post, and X thread. For the carousels, there should be a maximum of 7 slides. And for the threads types, there should be a maximum of 3 posts. And for the blog post, it should be at least 500 words. You should use best practices from Claude Code and create a skill for this. Name it something like multiplying content. This means that you should also create a claude.md document in the workspace. I'm going to add some more. Always try your best to be efficient in writing the files and folders. This means using high information density without losing important context. Do not reference or take ideas or inspiration from my previous folders that are inside this computer. I want you to have a totally clean slate. I'm going to choose plan mode for this. Let's see what the AI is thinking to itself. So plan mode is useful when you want to review what the AI is going to do first, and then you can approve it or give them feedback. Okay, it says the user wants to build an agentic workflow for content multiplication. Let me break down what they need, number 1, 2, 3, etc. Okay, it's asking me some questions. Where should the generated out content be saved? As local markdown files in deliverables folder or somewhere else? I want something else. A single combined file where all the 11 pieces are in one markdown file. But you should also create an outputs folder and then place the 11 pieces of that markdown file into that folder. I hit enter. Okay, I don't like the way the folder structure is because some of them are redundant. So we can combine the multiply content empty into here already. I don't understand why it needs to create separate documents. And voice analysis empty should actually be inside the voice profiles folder. Okay, I'm just going to give it some feedback. So I click here, tell Claude what to do instead. Why are you building a workflows folder. The workflows folder is redundant. You already have a multiply content.md inside the skills folder, so you should combine them. And the voice analysis.md inside the workflows should also be moved into the voice profiles folder. Okay, it has updated the plan. Let's see. Okay. Looks good, so I click yes and auto accept. Okay, if we open the skills folder, there already is a multiply content.md document. Let's take a look at this. Click this magnifying glass so you can see it easier. Okay, you are a content multiplication agent. You take a single idea and produce blah, blah, blah. Execution flow, step 1, voice profile check. Step 2, first round flow. Step 2, returning flow, collect the idea, etc., etc. And then voice profiles, voice analysis document. Okay, this document defines how to analyze blah, blah, blah. Tone and attitude, formatting habits, etc., etc. So there you have it. You just need to talk to your AI and tell them what you want to build. As simple as that. So that's the full setup, and you only do this once. From here on, every time you have something to share, you just say multiply my content, and you speak a few bullet points, and then you walk away with 11 pieces of finished content. Same quality, same structure every time. You build the system once, now you just use it. That's real leverage. Hey, I'm Welly. I run Mango, a checkout platform for solo digital creators. I've got a small team of developers building it. And yes, I'm not a programmer, but I use AI to run most everything else myself. That's what this channel is about. If this helped, hit like, subscribe for more, and comment what you want me to automate next. See you in the next one.